Hi, I am author Michele V. Mitchell, and I am the author of She Ain't Me and Choose Wisely, and I'm on Jerry-Royce-Live.
Hello, and thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce, and welcome to Positive Power 21 Network, where you get your positive on. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and welcome to Jerry Royce Live on PositivePower21.org. I am the voice of Jerry Royce, and when it's all positive, it's all power. That's Positive Power 21. And today's sponsors are REI Heritage Tours, Cambridge, Maryland, home of Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. For more information, call 1-800-522-TOUR to book your scenic driving tour with more than 30 sites related to the freedom seekers in the 1800s. For more information, call 1-800-522-TOUR. And also, in addition to that, they're preparing for Harriet Tubman's Underground Railroad Conference on June 13th and 14th to celebrate 150 years after her death. They're having a keynote speaker from Emmanuel College of Boston, Massachusetts. And also, we have Success Revolution Conference 2014 Business Expo coming to Columbia, Maryland. And guys, don't be fearful. They have a space available for men also. The Success Revolution Conference is for everyone. So come on out. You can Google Success Revolution Conference 2014 and find out how you can get your booth space or how to get tickets. You can register online, and the tickets are only $5, and it's going to her favorite charity. And the plan of this event is Agnes Akutun, and she's at agnesaktun.com. So you probably can't spell it, so it's AGNESIKOTUN.com. And again, you can Google Success Revolution Conference 2014 Business Expo in Columbia, Maryland. Also, we having Simply Chic presents a Spring Fling vendor event, the Ridgely Run Community Center in Jessup, Maryland, Saturday, June 7th. That's from 10 to 2. And they having all sorts of vendors at this Spring Fling. So for more information, call Nicole Johnson at 443-622-1400. Again, that's 443-622-1400. Find out how you can get yourself a vendor early bird special. And this event is coming up this weekend. And it's all happening in the Delmarva. So if you're in the Baltimore, Washington, Virginia, Delaware, Philly, and you'll be part of it, check it all out. And you can find, if you forget what we just gave, you can check out our previous shows, and all the information is given in the intro of all my shows for the last 2 weeks. All right. Okay, everybody. Tonight on my show, we have Michele-Mitchell. Now, I forgot to ask Michelle to give me her bio. I don't know how I forgot that. So what we're going to do, we're going to just ask her to come on, and she's going to tell us a little bit about it. But she's the author of Choose Wisely and She Ain't Me, which was her first book, which was, I guess they both were released this month. She has rave reviews. I mean, it's a bunch of them out there on Amazon. We're going to get a chance to visit some of her reviews, and we're going to talk to her. She says she's a Christian fiction writer, and let's throw down with her right now. So Michele V. Mitchell, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And I forgot to ask you if you had a website. Do you have a website?
I just have what I don't know if you want to call it a website. I do have a page that's linked up with my Facebook, which is under authoress Michele V. Mitchell.
All right. Okay.
So I do have my author page.
So it's like a landing page.
Yeah. So basically. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they call it, but they can find me under Facebook.com, authoress Michele V. Mitchell 1.
Very good. All right. Well, since I didn't get a chance to read your bio, which I always enjoy doing, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your writing background, how you got started in writing, and why you chose Christian fiction.
Well, honestly, I did not know that this was something that I was going to be doing. I just came to a point in my life where I knew that I needed to ask God what I was supposed to be doing. So one night I prayed to him, and I asked him what he wanted me to do, and my first book, She Ain't Me, basically was born. And then from then on, that's just what I'm doing. I want my work to have a purpose.
Good. You want a purpose. So you trying to save some souls with your books?
I don't know if I'm trying. Well, yes, I guess that's what you would say. I mean, I just want people to know that, because I consider it. You say Christian fiction, and I just made up my own name. I write urban fiction. Basically, that's what I call it, because my work is still real with what's going on in the world. But I just want people to know that God is real, and if you call on Him and if you seek Him, it will make a difference.
That's right. That is true. That's how I got here. Who would have known? But little under $1,000, the brothers broadcasting, with some of the best-selling authors in the world. Who would have known? And where are you from, Michelle? Where are you coming from?
Well, I'm calling from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. HBG, yay. But I was actually born in the Bronx, New York.
All right, okay. I hear a lot of people leave New York and take up residency in Pennsylvania, like the Poconos is pretty popular now, and Harrisburg, and it's a few other places. Because I know we visit up there. Lancaster's really popular now. I said it's a great country. I mean, I'm not giving any props to the Pittsburgh Steelers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hardcore Ravens all the way. But we do love going there. You got your beautiful amusement parks and everything, and my children just love Pennsylvania. So kudos to you guys up there for hosting wonderful summer events. All right. Okay, so we sound like you're living a good life. You sound happy. You're happy?
Well, yes, I'm happy. I'm very happy, and I'm very honored and thankful for this interview right now.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about your writing. How did you get started? I know you said God was calling you, but where did you get your craft from? Is it natural? Are you just a good storyteller and you need somebody to help you ghostwrite it, or what? What's the deal?
Well, honestly, how did I get started? I have to say something because Tyler Perry is one of my favorite people. That's one of my goals to meet him. But I remember he had posted something once where he said a lot of times God will set things up in your life, and later on you will look back at those things and realize that they were all those things that you went through were tools to get you where you needed to be. So early on, even as a kid, I always like performing. I always wrote poetry. I wrote songs. Back in the day, I used to have a little group. I wrote all the material. So writing has always been in my blood. I just never knew to the extent of it. Like, I never knew that I could write. And what happened was I had worked at a book company, and we basically, I did customer service, and it was for different book clubs, and the customers were calling in, and we were answering their questions and setting them up for their orders, whatever the case may be. But the book club also had where we could purchase. They had a bookstore every Wednesday, I think, Wednesday and Thursday, and they were like books for like 50 cents. I mean, I was there for like almost 2 years, so I had books for days, and I just would read and read and read. So when it came time for me to actually write my own, because I read so much, I didn't have a problem with how to format, how to set it up. And I knew that these were all the tools that God was giving me to be able to do what I'm able to do now.
Wow. Yeah, lucky you, because same thing with me. I grew up in publishing. My dad, my uncles, I had summer jobs. Had a chance to really, it's so wonderful to pick up a fresh book that just got off of the printer. No, people just don't know what it feels like, the smell, the way it fans when you fan it. What a feeling. So anyway, I got into it just pretty much like you, just working around it. Now, not everybody has the gift to write. They may have the gift of gab, the artistry piece. Now, I was looking at your book cover. We was talking about that earlier. I said, I love your book cover. It looks like a story is being told right there. Now, your first one, you said you chose the book cover for She Ain't Me. So how you chose decide on this model and this cover? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what I did, I actually chose the what I can say is I chose the girl. I chose the girl, and I chose the praying hands behind it. And I basically told the gentleman, the designer, what I wanted. Like I told him what the book was about. I gave him the 2 pictures, and he basically did the rest. Like he put the woman behind the bars. I was like, oh, this is hot. Mm-hmm. So I was like, really, like he just, his name is Michael Horn, and he just like went above and beyond what I had expected. I was like, oh, thank you. So in the girl, I wanted someone. Because in the story, she's a young girl. She's 17. She's going through, she's trying to be grown, but she's just not there yet. But she thinks she is. So I wanted a girl that had an innocent face. And when I saw that model, that's why I picked her. She still has that. She looks like she want to be grown, but she still got that that innocent face. So that's why I picked her.
It's true. And that's the same girl that's standing in the back, also, right?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay, because I'm looking at a thumbnail. Okay, and this piece says, this is Mama Cakes, a born-again Christian, a model prisoner at Muncie State Prison. Muncie. Okay, is desperately trying to return home to her daughter, Mina. Mina, now 17, stubborn and sassy, wants a part of Mama Cakes. Neither does she seek reconciliation. She has been living with her grandparents in the Park Hill projects of Staten Island, New York, and has earned quite a reputation. Okay, so who's the main character?
The main characters are Mama Cakes, which is the mother, and Mina, the daughter. They are the 2
Mama
main
Cakes. That's a very interesting name, Mama. Who is Mama Cakes?
Mama Cakes actually is me. My daughter with her crazy self. I love her. But she always says, I got cake in the back. So she was like, one day she was like, I'm going to call you Mama Cakes. And so in her cell phone, she had put like me as a contact, and it was Mama Cakes. So when I was making the characters, I was like, you know what, that name's hot. I'm going to use that.
I like that, Mama Cakes. So she said it came from because Mama got back, huh? I would have thought that because Mama Cakes was, she's like the I guess the staple in the community, and everybody listens to her, and she makes the best cakes in town with the town fairs or something. But now you put a different on it right there. I'm gonna tell my friends at lunchtime.
Well, now you got the true story.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Because they always asking me about my guests, and I don't think nobody has topped Firemouth yet. If you ever been out on her Facebook page, yeah.
That's my girl. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey,
that's my girl too. That's my girl too. But now you got Mama Cakes and Fire. They're gonna say, who are these people, Jerry? They're gonna be tripping out. I'm telling you. And I told them, I said, guess what, y'all? I got a new friend. Her name is Mama Cakes. They're gonna be tripping. They're gonna love it. They're gonna love it. Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow. All right, Mama Cakes. Okay, Mina, what's happened? What's their relationship like in this book?
In the beginning, it's very rocky because Mama Cakes goes off to prison when Mina's 12. She's on her way home, but Mina kind of had to fend for herself, so she felt, and she had to grow up way before her time, and she blamed her mother for a lot of the, the heartache and the pain that she had to go through. So basically, she's just rebelling at this point when Mama Cakes is trying to re-enter her life. And Mama Cakes has finally got herself together, but now she has to try to pull her daughter back in, before it's too late.
The only child.
The only child.
Yeah, that could be a rough one, especially 17. And see, I guess this is from experience. How old is your daughter?
My daughter is 16.
Okay. So when you wrote this book, how old was she?
When I wrote the book, Charnay was, I believe, 15.
15. Okay, well, I have a daughter, and they seem to, like the daughter kind of disappears at age 12. She's somewhere else. You got another child. Did you kind of experience that with your daughter? She
no, because I can't say she disappeared because my daughter is very outspoken, and she's a very I don't want me. I'm glad she's not listening to this right now. She's a kind of like an attention seeker, so she's always in my face, like, "Hey, I'm right here." So.
Okay, so she didn't just grow up and they know everything. Like my daughter, she's kind of out there right now with she knows all about the tennis shoe world. She's like Mr. Jordan's assistant. She's the guru of Google. She's my son's mentor. It's like what?
She's all over.
Yeah, and she knows everything.
No, I have to say, my daughter has her moments, but yeah, it's just what I'm just learning. It's the teenage thing that we that we have to go through.
That's right.
They don't think we were born. They think we were just born yesterday. We don't know anything.
Yeah, like we don't know why you do the things you're doing now because you're going to need it when you're an adult. That's what I was going through with her yesterday. Now, Mina, is she? Did you kind of take something? Where you get Mina's character from? Let's ask you that.
Mainly Mina was just, some of my daughter, with the, as I said, being a teenager, my daughter can be a little lippy at times. But pretty much it was just how I, just being, seeing other people and seeing, seeing people that I'm around, how some of their kids are. And Mina's just a mix of a little bit of everybody, a little bit of every teenage girl.
Okay, so she giving the grandparents a run for their money also?
Yes.
All right. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Mama Cakes. Now, she's born again Christian, model prisoner. Now, do you get into what's going on in the prison with her? Are there any scenes there?
Yeah, there are a few scenes, and no, I have not been to Muncie State Prison, but I researched though. I mean, I do. I ain't gonna lie. I got some friends that have been there, so some family members too. So I would call them up, be like, "Yo, what it look like?" They'd be more than willing to tell me. So. Right.
That's what I just want to know. What you know about Muncie. All right. So you got the 411 on it. So what's happening to Mama? Is it dark for her, or she kind of shed some light to some of the prisoners that's there to make her a model? Now she has to be surrounded with model prisoners to be one, right? Is that the case?
Yeah. She's basically, she's on her way home. She's doing all her groups, and she's learning a lot from, she's learning a lot from the situation. And her main goal now is to do what she has to do to get home to her daughter. Okay.
So did you get into why she was prison?
Yes, it does say, why she was incarcerated.
Okay. Good. So now, the readers have something to grab onto, how Mama Cakes was able to survive. Now, is this a good book for someone who's incarcerated?
Yes, I believe so, definitely. I have a friend that, she was like I said, a prisoner there, and she was like, "Yo, this book is so good." She was like, "It's encouraging." She was like, "Yo, everybody would read this, in prison." She was like, "This is a good book." So, yeah, I think it would definitely benefit, and that's one of the things that I wanted to. That's one of the things I wanted to express is that my work is just not for people that are saved. It's for people that don't know anything about who God is, and I'm trying to give them a little bit of insight. So they can, they can see through these characters that, okay, just because I did this, that, and that doesn't mean it's the end of the road for me. I can, pick up and move forward with my life and knowing that He's involved, anything and everything is possible.
That's right. Okay, now we talked a little bit about She Ain't Me, and let's look at Choose Wisely. What's going on? This doesn't have anything to do with She Ain't Me. Is this a complete different storyline?
Right. Yeah, this was just a complete different story.
Complete different story. Great. All right. So tell us about the main character. Who is she? Who are they?
Well, there's actually 4 main characters. I have Darius and Dante, which are cousins, and I have Sandy. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting one of my characters.
Melissa.
Ooh, Melissa, thank you. I have Sandy and Melissa who are sisters, and basically they're four friends that pretty much grew up together. And it's called Choose Wisely because basically what I'm trying to do with this novel is just point out how sometimes we can get involved in these relationships with people and not really know who they are or what they're really about. And by the time we find out, sometimes it's just too late, and that's why I pretty much called it Choose Wisely.
Wow, and it's funny you bring that up because I think one of the first guests I had, and then I ended up having a second one, which was last week, were married to guys that were under the influence of drugs and didn't know it. Did not know it. It was kept from, and I know a couple who experienced the same thing until they got out of control. But in your story, it's the past that caught up with somebody in the book. Is that what happened?
Well, what it is, one of my main characters, Darius, he's basically coming home from prison. He's trying to get his life back on track. But he has a baby mama from his past that she's pretty much saying, like, listen, if you're not going to be with me, you're not going to be with anybody else. And, all he wants to do is do the right thing and take care of his child. But yet and still, she's like, listen, I want our old life back. So she wants him back in them streets, showing her, the lavish life that she's used to. And, that's pretty much why he needed to, choose wisely before he got involved in the beginning. Because a lot of times men will sometimes look at these women and just go by, the outside and not really knowing who they are inside. And sometimes the inside is just not right.
That's right. And I was just talking about that in the previous show, judging a book by its cover. Pretty much, you look at a woman. I mean, she got herself together. She looks sharp. Sometimes you can read people, but if you're not getting a read, then that's something. I think you're going to be in trouble. Now, a lot of these guys, let's call them these urban guys. I'm not saying that they do everything in the street, but they like to party. They go to clubs. They go out a lot. They out in the community, and they meet these women. The characters in your book. Describe the baby mama a little bit more. What is she really like? Is she a go getter for her, or she just want to take from somebody else? Is she like a
Yeah, she's not a main character, but her name is Trina in the novel, and yeah, she's about herself. She's not worried about the kids. She's not worried about his daughter. She's worried about herself.
That's right. Now, so do we hear more from Melissa in the book than we do Trina?
Yeah, you hear more from Melissa because that's Darius's best friend, and she kind of has a crush on him, which he wasn't aware about. He wasn't aware of. So yeah.
I'm just saying, is Melissa one of those types? Is she attractive?
Yeah, she's attractive. She's attractive, but she's a little insecure. She's a plus size girl. Some plus size women are not, happy. Some are, some are not, and she's just, a plus size woman that is not really happy with, with who she is.
That's fun. That's the word I was looking for in my previous show, because that's exactly what we were talking about. But we was calling them curvy or voluptuous or big girl, which is not proper terminology right now. But plus size, that's the word I was looking for. Okay, she's lacking self-esteem. Did you say that?
Right. Mhm.
Okay.
And she's I said she's insecure, but same thing.
But she's attractive. And she's attracted to Darius. Now, Darius just see her as what? His buddy, his friend.
As a friend. I mean, she was, back in the day, she was the prom queen, whatever the case may be. As years went on, she picked up some weight. So, he always had a little crush on her too, back in the day. They basically are supposed to be together, but because of circumstances and again, them just choosing not making the right choices, they're not making it easy on themselves. So.
All right. Now, this sounds like a really, really good book. Now, my question is, why is it going for 99 cents?
Well, I am. Well, what it is I'm actually signed with a publishing company called True Glory Publications. So I pretty much go with the flow at the moment. But what my publisher is always explained to me is that, I am a new author. Like, She Ate Me was my first book. No one knew my name. So right now he wanted to basically get these first couple of books out so people can experience who I am. I can, hopefully get a following. Then from there, when you write, and that's my goal, is to write, because I'm working on She Ain't Me too now. So the goal is to, to keep writing, and then you write with, do the series, and then with each series, the price will go up some. Then not all the books are going to stay at 99 cents.
Now, I understand, his madness, that you're trying to create your fan base. But what happens if you get the budget-conscious fans? They used to, the books being under $1. They can read, because obviously they're avid readers and they read fast. And now your books have a lot of pages. I haven't seen that many pages in a Kindle for a while for some of the authors that come out of this publishing house. That's a lot of pages. So, and obviously, you're giving some good quality. Now, how you feel about your writing as far as the books are concerned? The storyline?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, again, I'm very new at this, as far as, and I just write until I feel the story is over. But no, when I first started, I had always, I talked with someone and asked them, I had a friend that was an author, and I had asked her, what is considered, a novel. Like, I did a lot of research before when I was writing, and I go by word count. So I have a certain word count that my goal is to reach. And now, because now that my first books are, a little longer, I know that I want my second book, my sequels to be that or more. That's just because at this point I do have a lot of people that, as far as my reviews, they want the part 2. They want to know when it's coming out. I don't want to disappoint anyone.
Yeah, and I was about to say, you have a lot of reviews to be a new author, new artist out here. Okay, let's read one of them. Okay, somebody named MM. I give this book 4 stars because there was way too much grammar errors. Okay, so she liked the story because 4 stars is really, really good. And she said, damn, please read what the heck? Next year before you decide to sell a great read, but just need to edit. Okay, now that's not your fault. That falls on.
I know. I said, but you will pick the only real bad one I had.
Yeah, they put that one up for some reason. That one went to the top, but she gave you 4 stars. Why should you give you 4 stars?
I know, right? And I was tripping over that because I went to my publisher. I'm like, man, what? I was like, what's going on? And he was like, but what he explained to me too was, he was like, listen, you can't, you can't let that, discourage what you're doing. He was like, he said, it doesn't matter who you are. He said, it doesn't matter. There's going to be someone out there that's just not going to be satisfied. So I understood that, and I was just like, at the end of the day, I was like, listen, she still gave me 4 stars, and more than likely she's still going to purchase the next one. But I said, my thing is now is I definitely am going to be more involved on what's going on as far as with my editing, even though I do know that's not my fault.
Okay, all right, let's read the next one. I love this story from beginning to end. I need part 2 ASAP. I finished the story in one sitting, and I need to know what happened to Melissa and Tyrone relationship. I'm interested in Lexi, really Dante, and Dante and Andy. Okay, so you have some other people within the book that she's attracted to. Obviously, they must have something going on, some dialogue going on, and look like this reader is really interested in this storyline. So it sounds like you're probably going to be writing about these characters for a while, because now what's going to happen is I'm seeing that a lot of these fans, they are fans of True Glory authors, it seems like, right?
Yeah, and I think that really plays a part with why I am very successful, because who I sign with as well. Like my publisher, Shamik Spite, is also an author. He's a well-known author. So I know he has a huge following. And I'm quite sure, anyone that is on his team, more than likely, I know his followers are going to be, picking up new authors' work as well, just out of love for him. But I also know that my writing and my work is good, that at some point I will be able to, if I haven't already, develop my own, support system. But I'm very happy with, where I'm at, who I'm signed to. So it's all good.
Right. Yeah, and the thing that I do like about his company is that you guys do share in the marketing and promotion. When the book is released, everybody's all on board to support that person. It's almost like the pyramid scheme. Everybody put in $50, but this month we giving it to you. That's what it reminds me of. So it's like as long as you. Well, I've been around for a while. I remember how the pyramid scheme used to work. If you have like 50 friends, everybody put in 100, but only one person get the money. You see what I'm saying? So, in other words, when you guys are releasing books and everybody supporting you, you're pulling their Facebook fans over to your way, and the fans going to click and check you out. They're going to read your story, a few pages. They're going to say, wow, I like these characters. There's some fine men in there. They want to read it. But at the same time, you got to take charge of yourself and say, hey, maybe you need to bring your own editing team on to make sure nothing's getting past you, because it's your livelihood as well, because you may not be with him forever, especially when you're talking about trying to develop your own fan club. I mean, I'm hearing every day of some of the well-known authors starting their own publishing house right now, because it's about the dollars now. You're sharing dollars, and if it comes to a point where you're doing most of the work, your fan group is there, you're starting to do the book signings, you're printing books, the fans are hungry for you. Now it's time for you to be a businesswoman. How you feel about that, like years to come, being in business for yourself?
I mean, maybe sometime down the line. Like I said, right now, I'm still just getting my feet wet, so I'm, pretty much comfortable where I'm at. We will see, and before I do anything, I pray about it, and that's just not something I actually even prayed about. So I can't even say, like, before I make any moves or even think about something, I will pray about it first, and then, wait to get the answer I'm supposed to get. I don't like to try to, rush into anything. So right now I'm just, going with the flow and taking baby steps, as I would say right now.
That's right. So the main thing is just to get your editing on board, strong storyline, your character. Because I'm looking at your reviews, and the people just seeing they really love this Lexi character. I'm seeing Trina name being thrown around, Tyrone. So they loving the whole fact.
Again, that's all the bad people.
Yeah, they like the drama, the lies, the deceit. Now, these probably good old girls, too, probably writing this stuff. They like these bad boys, They love the bad boys. So it's like the badder, the better. So what you think about that? I mean, are your fans going to call you out and say, hey, give us more bad boys? The good girls and the bad boys make good stories. So how you feel about that?
I don't know. I think I'm already giving enough drama. I don't know if I can. I don't know how much more drama I could put in my books. Well, so far nobody has, mentioned it yet. So except you.
They putting ASAP out here on the reviews. Did you read all your reviews?
Yes, but they're just saying ASAP for the next one. That's not ASAP for for more bad boys or bad girls.
Well, it gotta be. They want these characters, these guys, these women. They want to see them again. They want more of them. I mean, they're all main characters. And what I try to do, with my work is I always, so far since with my second sequel with She Ain't Me. With She Ain't Me 2, I added another character. He wasn't a main character in the beginning,
But, you know, a lot of people were talking about him, and I guess, you know, I had a feeling they wanted to know more about this, you know, more about Pablo, that's his name. So he's a main character in my second one, so people can now see why he does what he does and, you know, who he is. So even with Choose Wisely, when I get to it, because I haven't even started that yet, but it's in the works. I mean, it's in my mind. Nothing's written yet. But when I get to that, I probably will still add, like, Lexi wasn't in the forefront in the first book, but she will be in this next one, you know, plus the other characters that they love.
That's right, bad Lexi. Now, are you prepared to read anything for us tonight?
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't, hold on there. I didn't expect that one. You didn't forewarn me.
So you got to listen to Jerry-Royce-Live. You know these things.
Oh, oh goodness!
I know. I thought the producer. You know, I'm gonna have to remind those guys to put that in the letter when we send those letters out. You know, to be prepared to read an excerpt because because you're talking about new fans. You know, they want to feel you. You know, this is your chance to shine, like Fire always says.
All right, let me see what I can do. Let me see.
We appreciate it.
Well, thank you. All right, I'm going to pick something. I guess I'm going to pick from She Ain't Me.
Okay.
And,
yeah, Mama Cakes.
Yeah.
Mama Mina.
Mama Cakes and Mina. Let me see what I can find here for you guys.
And you're saying Mina's living in Park Hill Projects. What's that area like?
I mean, I've been there. It's like the projects. Well, they're like the taller projects. I know that's where I think Method Man was from. That's all I can really tell you. Okay. So I found a little part here, and it says there's going to be a part for Mina. It says, this is Mina. It says, I looked Mama Cake square in the eyes as I spoke. After I was raped, I felt dirty, like no one loved me. I would shower 3 and 4 times a day to try to wash the dirtiness away. I was so angry with you for not being there for me. I felt like I was raising you. I was only 12, and because of that one night, my childhood was over. Mama, you stayed drunk. You never noticed what was going on around you. I couldn't believe how selfish you were. I would pray for someone to take me away from you. I guess God answered my prayers because the next thing I knew, you were off to jail, and I was stuck with Aunt Maya and Uncle Ty. Things were good at first until Aunt Maya started her new job where she was never home. That gave Uncle Ty plenty of time to push up on me every chance he got. Every time she left the house, he was all up in my face, telling me how beautiful I was and how big my booty was getting. He really disgusted me. Every time he looked at me with his stupid grin, I would just want to scratch his eyes out. I wanted to get out of there bad as hell. I couldn't believe stupid Aunt Maya was going to marry that fool. So one day, Ty comes into my room and throws a bag on my bed and says, if you let me hit that, you can have everything in the bag plus more. I opened the bag, and there was a new cell phone and at least 10 outfits and $300 in cash. I finally gave in. I felt like it was my only way out. My plan was to stack all the money I was getting from Ty and get out of there ASAP. Me and Ty hooked up for over a year, and I almost had 5G stacked up until one day Maya got off work early and found us in her bed together. She was pissed. She was screaming and punching on Ty until she was out of breath. Of course, he threw me under the bus. He claimed I was always coming on to him, and he couldn't help himself. I guess he forgot the fact he was sleeping with a minor, because when I asked him about the money he owed me, he said he wasn't paying me shit. I quickly reminded him I was a minor, and if he didn't give me my money, I was going straight to the cops. I stopped talking for a second as Mama Cakes touched my hand. I yanked it away from her. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm good now, I said with an attitude. You wanted to know what's been up with me, so I'm telling you. Mina, please forgive me. Tears flowed down her face. I ignored her and continued. Aunt Maya called my grandma Betty and asked her to come get me because things wasn't working out. She never told my grandma what was up. I guess she didn't want her man looking like the pedophile he was. What really amazed me was how easily Aunt Maya forgave him, but she couldn't give me that same forgiveness. You know the last thing Aunt Maya said to me? She said she hated the sight of me and she wasn't going to ever mention this to you because it would hurt you too much. Can you believe that, Mama Cakes? I smirked. She didn't want to hurt you, like you haven't been hurting me all my life. I could hear myself getting louder, but I didn't care. I wanted Mama Cakes to feel the pain I had been suffering with for years. Oh, and by the way, I'm pregnant, I said proudly.
Wow. That's a real popular problem in this country. I'm hearing more and more guests come on and talk about this subject: incest, abuse in the black home. I didn't know it was that popular. That happening that often. What's going on with society right now? All this abuse.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the world that we're living in today.
Yeah, because one time they used to make it seem like it was just the hillbillies that was into it, but it's like the people of color is surfacing. Stories are starting to be told. It's like, wow. And, I know, it's a fiction book, and, a lot of us do our research, but some of these authors saying that, they experience. I mean, I've talked to one author. I mean, she was going to re-release the book. I think it was 3 characters. She was all 3 of these characters. I was like, oh, my God. You need some help.
Oh, wow.
I know. And I read that book. I couldn't stop. I read it at work. Like, finished it in 2 hours. And I had to call her right after. I said, you got to talk to me about this book. And just like this is crazy. She was 12 years old. Wow. No wonder, your people couldn't put this thing down. And Mama Cakes, she wasn't in prison at the time. She just was high, right?
Well, yeah. At the time, she had got, at the time she had got raped. Yeah, she was home, but she was just so, drunk or whatever, whatever the scenario was in the story at the time, that she wasn't even there to defend off, what was going on. So it was like either, it was, and that's where, Mina pretty much had to step up because, the gentleman that was at their house that night was like, listen, if this don't go down, like, it's, you and your mother are going to be hurt. So she had to make a decision to, to do what she had to do to keep her and her mother safe.
And the mama right there can't protect her own child. And the thing about it is Mina the guy took advantage by offering items that he knew she would accept because she couldn't get them on her own. And
that's actually what I just mentioned before. That when that was actually because Mina was, I don't want to tell the whole book, but she has 2 different, things that have, transpired in her life. Like when it was a situation before her mom went to prison, and then it's that situation where she's staying with her aunt and her uncle that she goes through that situation. So.
And so many young ladies experiencing, the exact thing, every day. Man, this world is something else. Woo. Well, that's She Ain't Me. And
yeah, that's She Ain't Me.
Yeah, that's a dark one there, boy. So
right.
This book right here. So this book is darker than Choose Wisely. Choose Wisely, I guess, your fans probably really feeling that because the characters may be somebody they may want to be, but then flipping over to She Ain't Me, people probably feeling for this young girl who probably been in her shoes. So you think that adds to?
It's just a lot of, I think it's a lot of different things that, happens in society that, sometimes does not get, and it's not mentioned or it's not talked about. And these things that these characters are actually going through, people have gone through. So a lot of people can, relate to that situation because sometimes, the things that go on in our lives sometimes make us react and do things that we probably wouldn't have normally done if one situation would have never happened.
Mm-hmm. And some people grow from this, but they just never forget. And then when they stop being busy in their life, like say they retired, then they start thinking about these things that happened to them in their childhood, and they're starting to affect them psychologically, and they never got help because they stay. Because you ever listen to some of those stories from some of the football players, how they didn't have their dad in their lives, or they was in an abusive household, had drugs and stuff in it, and they used football or sports to escape. Because they was only home for a few hours just to sleep, and they was out again because they had practice and homework to do, and like they used that to channel all this badness, that was going on, and they became successful because they were very, very determined. And it's funny because, and we got a little bit of time, and I'm glad our audience is sticking with us. But I had this exact talk with my kids last night. How I found that sometimes when kids live a cushion life sometime, and they have all the opportunities in the world to become successful, I'm finding that when I listen to some of these sports stars' story, it sounds like they didn't even have a childhood, and now they reached a success, but they still not happy. So I was trying to tell my kids, I said, you guys are growing up, you're happy, but you still have to think about the seriousness of what you're doing. With school, how you're taking after school activities and you're applying it to what you want to do in life. I said, when you get to college and you're thinking about, well, I could use a little bit more money, then you think about some of the things you used to do. You learn how to swim. You study martial arts. You could teach somebody for money. And they said, well, you forced us to have to go to the pool and take swimming lessons. We just want to get in there and have fun. I said, yeah, but
right.
you could have saved someone's life later on because of this. I said, something you have to understand that everything can't be fun. You have to be serious about certain things, like playing football. I know it's fun, but when you get out there, you got to think about the danger of getting hurt. So when you go work out, you got to work out like you could be playing your last game. You can't just look at it like, oh, I'm going to have fun with my friends. It's going to be somebody on the other team trying to clock you. And here's my son. Well, Dad, they're not supposed to have helmet-to-helmet hit. But it does happen. Look all those fines that were given in the NFL for concussion. There was nobody walking off there because their knee was blown out. These guys were being carried out because they got knocked out. And that's been a rule for a number of years. So these stories you guys are telling are so important. So important, and somebody's going to read that, and it's going to mend something. It's going to help them get through something, because not everybody living a cushiony life, in a fairy tale in a castle. Some people living in those concrete project buildings. I guess you can call those castles in a way, but it's dark, and even if they do reach success, they're not going to forget, especially what happened to this young lady. She lost her virginity at age 12, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And she's not going to ever forget that. That was her first time. Whew. Well, Michelle, we can close the show out on that note. I hate to close it on a negative, but I want to say, we wish you much luck. I think your fans are going to adore your style. Your storytelling. I mean, you're real crisp with it. You're bringing it out, even on both sides. Choose wisely and she ain't me. I guess that's a great way to come out with your writing career. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans? Anybody that you'd like to bring into your world before we close out the show?
Well, again, I just want to thank you, of course, and of course give most praise to God. And I want to just thank everyone that has so far purchased, left reviews, that's actually listening and taking time out to listen to me this evening. I also want to thank my publishing company, True Glory Publications. I want to thank Shamik Spite for signing me, for believing in me. When some mothers were, sleeping and they had the ball, they say know what to do with it. I want to thank him for that. Also, my True Glory family. I have a lot of new brothers and sisters that I can, if I have a problem or a question, they're there to answer questions for me. I thank them, and again, my family, my friends, my daughter Charnay, love her, because without her, a lot of this wouldn't even be happening. So, again, I want to thank everybody, and definitely want to give a shout out to my city, Harrisburg. I mean, we're going through some things right now. It's a lot of killings and things going on, but I want people to know that through God, anything is possible.
That's right. That's right. So I can imagine how long your list's going to be when you get that award.
I know, right? I want to thank everybody. If I didn't mention your name, that don't mean I don't love you.
Now you got to force your publisher to have to have an award ceremony for you guys, so y'all can fly out and you can get Author of the Year. He said, let Michelle go last.
I think I did too much. Did I do too much?
No, but I think you broke the record on Positive Power though.
and that's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do, for real.
That's right, Michelle. Enjoy yourself. You having fun, girl. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I can hear it in your laughter that you're having fun. You enjoy.
I am. I'm very thankful, and I'm enjoying myself right now.
Amen. And we'll keep your city in prayer, because it's a blessing to add circumstances to your prayer, and we hope that God will come into that town and amend some broken souls and save some people.
Yes. And also, I just want to mention real quick, She Ain't Me Too is coming soon. I need y'all to pick that up.
That's right. All right, and of course, I wanted to ask you too before you go. We got 4 minutes. Social media. How's social media working for you right now? I mean,
honestly, it's been a blessing for me, because since both of my novels since both of them have been released. I mean, they're not even in paperback yet, but I haven't left. Neither one of them have left the Amazon's bestseller list, so I cannot complain. I'm very thankful for, again, my team, my publishing company, and social media. It works.
That's right. So how many groups are you in?
Right now, I'm actually, I'm not sure, because I used to be in a few, but right now I think I'm in just African American Christian fiction, and right now, Choose Wisely is up in the top 10. She Ain't Me's been out a little bit longer, so it's a little further down, but they're both hanging in there, so that's all. I cannot complain.
That's right. That is fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Michele-Mitchell. She Ain't Me, and Choose Wisely. Cap yourself a copy. All right. Well, you take care, and I appreciate you being on Positive Power 21.
Thank you.
All right. That's Jerry-Royce Live. Okay. Thank you, everybody. And please visit our website at www.positivepower21.org and support some of these authors. We carrying books like To Make a New House and Synovia Alexander, who just recently is casting for a play. So if you're in the New York area and you're looking to get your feet wet in acting, send them your headshot, and you can Google her and her co-producer Blue Rowell to get yourself considered for a role. Take care, everybody. I'm Positive Power 21. I'm Jerry-Royce Live. Good night. Thank you for tuning in to the Positive Power 21 Network. Team 21 would like to thank you all for tuning in, and please spread the word and tell a friend. This is Jerry Royce at Positive Power 21, where we get our positive on.